How to stop hating yourself for past mistakes. In this video, I'm gonna teach you how to forget regret. Yes, that's right, I totally did just quote Rent right there. It's Sabrina, your personal love advisor from A New Mode, the channel where we show you how love actually works. Okay, I get flooded with questions along the lines of, help, what do I do? I did this and this in my relationship, I said this, or I asked him where we were going, or I pressured him, or blah, 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 and how do I fix it? How do I get things back on track? How do I undo this damage? As someone who was, once upon a time, very sloppy and making mistakes left and right in my love life, I fully commiserate, I fully understand where you're coming from. I know that feeling, and it's a terrible, terrible feeling. I know about the regret and the self-loathing that comes with it. I know about it all too well. Even now on this channel and on my website, anewmode.com, you know, I talk to you guys a lot about my past experiences, my past mistakes. And sometimes when I share these things, I'm like, oh, why did I do that? Why did I act that way with that guy? Why did I say that? Why did I do that? But who cares? I mean, I am where I always wanted to be right now. So who cares about the mistakes that I made back then? Like literally without those mistakes, I wouldn't be where I am today because I made a career out of sharing my tales of sloppiness and mistakes and love gone wrong. So all's well that ends well. But sometimes I'm just like, oh, why did I do that? I wish I could go back and do it this way. But I'm going to tell you how to get it under control and how to stop hating yourself for those past mistakes and what it takes to actually get the relationship you've always wanted. So make sure you watch this video until the end. Real quick, I have a small favor to ask. Please just tap that like button if you like me, you like this channel, you like this content. Literally, it takes less than a second. It's such an easy way to help me out and help me grow my channel. So I'm gonna wait for you to do that right now. Okay, thank you. Also make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you get notified whenever I post new content. Now, I'm assuming that you're here because you wanna know what it takes to have love that lasts. You are tired of screwing up. You're tired of making these mistakes. You just wanna know what it takes to have an amazing relationship with an amazing guy. If that's what you want, I have really good news. Eric is my partner on A New Mode, we created a whole system devoted to teaching you just that. It goes into a lot of depth. It's everything that you want to know to have love that lasts. It is called the Love Formula, and you can download it right now or when you're done watching this video at getloveformula.com, and I'm gonna link it down below. Okay, let's talk about how to stop hating yourself for those past mistakes. Number one, work on your self-esteem. People with high self-esteem are just okay with their decisions. They're just okay with the way they acted. They can look at a situation and say, okay, that wasn't my finest moment. That wasn't my finest interaction, but whatever, because they believe they're worthy. They believe they're valuable. They believe they're lovable. And they don't think that one mistake is just going to cancel out all of their redeeming qualities. It's only insecure people that rip themselves apart when they do something stupid or when they act in a way that isn't ideal, because deep down they feel unworthy. And now when they make those mistakes, they think, oh, I was doing such a good job hiding how unworthy I am, and now he's gonna know, and now he's gonna dump me because really, I'm not good enough. I always knew that, but I didn't think he knew that, and now that I made this big mistake, now he's gonna know it too. That's the thought process. It's not an active thought process. It could be subconscious, but that's what leads you to feel so bad about yourself after you make these mistakes. If you feel like you're always ragging on yourself, it's time to ask yourself why. Because you doing and saying all the right things in every situation is still not going to fix your self-esteem issues. So that's really what you have to get to. That's the heart of the issue here. Number two, the right relationship isn't made of glass. Here's something very important to realize. If a guy likes you, I mean really likes you, not just like enjoys hooking up with you sometimes, not just finds you attractive and fun to hang out with. When a guy likes you, it's gonna take a hell of a lot to talk him out of it. He's not gonna lose interest because you used too many emojis or too many exclamation points or because you texted him too many consecutive times in a row. He just won't. I was talking to someone the other day and she was saying, you know, she'd been dating this guy for a while, right? And she wanted to know, like, what they were, if they're on the same page, if they're official. And, you know, he completely froze and was like, you're pressuring me, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, why did I do that? Why did I ask him where the relationship was going? Why did I let him know that I want to be exclusive? I'm so stupid. I'm so foolish. I wish I could just go back to how it was before. How can I let him know that I'm totally fine with not being his priority while he prioritizes work and all this other stuff? That's your selling point. Your selling point is be with me. You could treat me as badly as you want. I just want to have you in my life. That is very, very sad. And also, the right guy for you who really likes you is not going to be scared away because you want a more serious relationship with him. If anything, he's going to think that's a good thing. And also another important point to mention here is that with the right guy, you won't ever really have to have these conversations because you'll be on the same page. Finding the right partner, it's a matter of being the right person and the right timing. A lot of you guys know that I married an ex-boyfriend and it took 10 years from when we dated the first time to when we dated the second time. And in between we weaved in and out of each other's lives because it was right person, wrong time for 10 years. Finally, when it was right person, right time, it came together and happened so quick. I mean, we were engaged within like 6 months and married within a year because we were just on the same page. And that's just how it goes. Like when you're not going to have these, what are we? You're not going to have to bring up the what are we conversation when a guy really likes you. So if you're in a situation where you're hating yourself for bringing it up and you wish you had it, recognize that maybe it's a good thing you brought it up and this guy is now like pulling away because it just shows that he is not on the same page as you. He's not the right guy for you. Or maybe he is the right guy, but it's the wrong time. In which case, what can you do about that? You can't control the timing of things. You just have to trust that everything in your life is running right on schedule. Number 3, the past is a foreign country. They do things differently there. Okay, now I didn't make up that quote. I think I found it on Pinterest, but I really liked it. I don't know who it's attributed to though. Okay, the fact is you made certain mistakes because that's where you were in your life at that point in time. So there's no point in hating yourself now for things you did then because you were a different person then. Just because you pushed a certain guy away doesn't mean you're going to push all the guys away. That was who you were at that point, even if it was last week. Okay, last week you were in a more fragile place. You were in a place of neediness and insecurity, and you acted in a way you shouldn't, and now this guy is ignoring you and he's pulling away. The fear and those horrible feelings that can come bubbling up to the surface in those situations is because you feel like, I'm never going to get what I want. I'm going to end up alone. This is going to happen over and over again. But it's not, because you're not that same person anymore. It happened. You learned from it, hopefully. You're going to grow, you're going to move on, and it's over. You don't need to let yourself be defined by past mistakes because you're not that person anymore. Another thing about those feelings of self-loathing is you're not mad at the guy. You're not really mad that, he's pulling away now. You're mad at yourself. And that's the hardest thing to rectify. You're mad that you sold yourself out. I think that's the issue I run into, like when I tell you guys about the way that I acted in certain situations, because I'm like, I cheapened myself so many times. Why did I do that? And there's a disconnect because deep down, we all know we're inherently valuable, but we go through these painful experiences or we've had past trauma and that sense of value gets lost, but it doesn't feel right. So there's that disconnect. And you're like, why did I act that way? Why did I reduce myself in that way? And that's what makes it so painful. It's not the loss of him that's so painful. It's the loss of your own value that really hurts. Or the loss of your perceived value. Your value is always there. Just your sense of it can get lost along the way. Number 4, forgive yourself. Okay, you acted in a way that wasn't great. No one's perfect. We all make mistakes. Just forgive yourself. Hating yourself for it is not going to solve anything. It's just going to make you a self-loathing person. I keep coming back to this because that's the place I was in for such a long time. It's okay to forgive yourself and just accept what happened. Accept, okay, that wasn't my finest hour. That's not who I am though, and I'm going to move on from that. Forgiveness is a choice. You can choose to forgive yourself for the way you acted and just move forward with your head held high. Try to get to the root of why you were so needy, why you were so desperate, and just move on. Which leads me to point number 5, get to the root of it. If you keep making the same mistakes, vowing to not make that mistake anymore isn't gonna help because you're making that mistake because of some underlying issue that you're not addressing. So we need to get to the root of it and figure out what's going on. This was me in college. I would go through a bad breakup. I would feel worthless. I would need to seek out all this male attention and male validation to feel good about myself. I would end up acting needy and desperate. Then whatever guy I was seeing would leave. And then I would seek out more male attention and more validation. And on the cycle went. You need to get to the root of why you're acting the way you are. Why you keep ending up in the same situation. Why are you acting so jealous and needy? Why are you acting so desperate? Why do you need so much male attention? Why do you get so angry and fly into a rage over things? Is it insecurity? Is it trauma? What is causing it? Really ask yourself and really listen for the answer. Once you find the answer, it's time to tackle it. Either through therapy, through a good book, through a good course, through a good podcast. There's so many outlets out there. but it starts with identifying where it's coming from. I really hope this was helpful to you. If so, please tap that like button and share your thoughts and your feedback in the comment section. I read them all. I try to reply to everyone. And if you want to know more about how to have love that lasts, how to be that high quality girl who gets that high quality guy and has an amazing relationship, check out our love formula system. You can download it at getloveformula.com. It's linked down below. Follow me on Instagram @anewmode, and I will see you in the next video.